Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Spectrum Drama, where we take a look at the hottest posts on Spectrum for the week and give our opinions on them. So before we get started, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. It means a lot to us. It's really awesome to have people support the channel, and it's always good for you guys to know when we post a new video. So yeah, hit everything. Okay, so first up we've got a post from John Bradley. Again. Good old John. He gets around, man. And it says, if cargo decks are such a milestone, then why are you consistently avoiding the topic of what function they are supposed to bring later? So basically, the long and short of this is they had an ISC that was dedicated to cargo decks, but they showed more about the fact that you could fly through them, which is cool, than actually kind of telling us why they're a milestone and what benefit they're going to give to us later on. And then the week's live #1 question in the looking for questions post was, so what is the gameplay that will be attached to cargo decks later? And they just completely dodged that, the #1 voted question by the community, and they ignored it because they don't want to answer it. And we've talked about this before. It's frustrating, when they kind of just skirt these things. But again, I mean, we're just in that same cycle where we want to know something and they don't want to tell us, basically.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that it was the top voted question, but CIG just really didn't want to give any details about it, which is odd, considering it's a brand new location in the verse, and there's just nothing to do in it yet. But like John Bradley's pointed out, they've never really said exactly what's going to be in there. We know there's going to be some kind of cargo gameplay. Who knows what that's going to entail. There was talk of new cargo missions, but we don't have those yet. It doesn't make you wonder what is going on with the gameplay of these areas.
Yeah. And I mean, he puts it quite neatly at the end there. He says, if the plan truly was to make those locations first to bring function, it would be nice to see that you are at the very least able to talk about said function, which I think is fair. I mean, if we're getting these things in the game and you're touting them as the next big thing, and it is just a box, a placeholder for some sort of gameplay further down the line, you must have some inkling of what that gameplay is, and you surely can share it without, I don't know, ruining the game for people. So it just seems odd to kind of keep it so close to their chest like they do with everything else. It's just very weird.
Yeah, God knows when this gameplay is actually going to turn up, now that we're still waiting for that fabled holy roadmap to turn up and tell us more details. But yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. It's just really odd, and you would have expected a bit more transparency about what is being worked on in the background for these cargo decks. But yeah, radio silence as usual.
Yeah. I mean, some of the comments, you've got people saying another example of how CIG is good at modeling locations more than creating gameplay, which I do think is fair. Is a fair thing to say at the moment, because we've got a hell of an amazing looking game with some incredibly crafted planets, as you will have seen if you watched our most recent video, the Moons of Hurston. It's they craft such incredible spaces that are just empty and devoid of things, and you just think, no, make us excited for these things, because really walking around it, you look at it and you think, this is cool, man. It's got, it looks really industrial, and there's cargo, and there's people in there. I don't know what they do. It's just, they could be hobos for all I know. It's a shame. I just wish that they could just give us a little bit more info, and stop people keep coming to Spectrum saying, why?
Yeah, it's a common problem. The community is always asking, like, why have you done this? And unfortunately, one of the devs hasn't taken the time to out of their day, should I say, to actually come on here and give some kind of explanation, which just kind of fuels the fire even more, I feel.
Yeah, Chad, if you're listening.
Yep. Chad, get on this.
Come on. Jump on it immediately, Chad. You know you want to. Cool. So next up, we've got a post from Galoith, which is weird. It looks like it should be Goliath, but it's Galoith, and that's okay. And it says, PSA, Distortion Damage is now working in Star Citizen version 3.11 exclamation point. And the long and short of this, as so eloquently put by my colleague, PICO, Distortion Damage is working and everyone's fucking using it. Yep. Which is true. Like, everyone and their nan has got a distortion weapon on their ship now because it's pretty effective.
Yeah, if you go into this this Halloween Kill 50 Players event, you will hands down 100% find at least 3 or 4 players running distortion and probably a Gatling gun.
Yeah,
that's just seems to be the meta weapon setup at the moment, and yeah, everyone's using it. Yeah, it seems to be a kind of sneaky fix that found its way into 3.11 without much fanfare from CIG. But a lot of the combat heavy players picked up on the improvement to the distortion damage and are running amok with it. I mean, this is kind of how distortion damage was kind of pictured a long time ago, like years ago. But it's finally in a kind of position where it actually does what it should do. And I mean, it's good for the state of combat in the game. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of breaks it down here, and I'm going to just read off a few of these ones because they're quite useful if you don't really know what distortion damage does. So if you're new to Star Citizen, you know, you've only just got a ship and now people are talking about loadouts for ships, and you're like, whoa, you know, or builds. You don't hear that word in many games other than, like, you know, MMOs and stuff. And so here we are, we've got builds for ships. But distortion damage basically just eats through shields. And since the enemy's signature increases due to distortion damage, they're easier for other people to detect. You know, when you hit someone with distortion damage and the shields are still up, it spikes their EM signature, making EM missiles very deadly. You know, there's lots of knock-on effects to using this particular type of damage, and when used combined in a group, you can be seriously deadly. It's a very clever system, and I think they have implemented distortion damage really well. I think from the limited scope that I've seen it.
Yeah, it's taken a while for us to get to this point, but they finally looks like they've cracked the nut, and PvP players are just loving it at the moment. I would advise everyone, go out, put some time into the game, buy yourself a set of distortion guns, and away you go.
Yeah, have some fun. And if you're looking for a build for your ship, then he has very, very kindly made a big list of all the different ships and different builds that you can do using distortion weapons. And so definitely check that out, because that is very, very interesting. And there's also a video there as well. So if you want to watch kind of distortion in action and how it works, definitely worth checking that out as well.
What I would say is that it does seem a bit overtuned at the moment. Like he states here, it's really, really easy to just drain your opponent's shields and shut down the systems. And there's no real counter to this, but other than running away, I guess. Yeah. Once your systems start going down, that's it. You're pretty much screwed. I feel like there needs to be a counter to that, or they need to tone down the effect of damage a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got here a little bit on how to defend. I mean, most of this is common sense for a lot of things, but, you know, keep your nose to the enemy, you know, have multiple shields and all that kind of stuff. Or heavy ships at the moment, apparently heavy ships don't seem to be affected by distortion, which is probably a bug, but we're not sure yet. You know, if you're in a heavy ship, you're pretty much laughing anyway. But yeah, you really are going to have a bad day if you come across someone with distortions and you're not prepared for it, basically. So before we get on to our next post, we have noticed a very strange thing. About 78% of you lovely people that are watching this video right now are not subscribed, which is very strange considering how lovable we are. Yes, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel. We would really appreciate it. Okay, so next up we've got a post from Disonian, and it says the different types of Star Citizen pilots. So he's got a rather large list here actually of different types of pilot styles, we'll say, in Star Citizen. To give you kind of a rough idea, just read a couple of them just to give you an idea. So you've got, this is one of my favourites, the Space Trucker. You log on at 3 AM because you're never tired. You've been wearing the same sweats, which are jogging bottoms for us English people, for the last 3 days. As you log in, you swipe a hand across your desk to clear out empty beer cans. The room always smells, always has the pervasive scent, that's a brilliant way of saying it, of ham sandwich. They're really well written, I think he has kind of nailed a lot of the characteristics of quite a lot of players in this game, I think.
Yeah. I was actually trying to read through them and find which one kind of describes me the best. But I think I found about 4, which if you kind of merge together is basically how I play the game at the moment.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, these are very to the point, and I'm sure it does kind of describe a bunch of players in the community at the moment. But for a lot of us kind of multi-role people, we can take, like I said, 4 or 5 of these, and it probably describes the way we play accurately.
Yeah, I think if we didn't run this channel, and if I'd come across Star Citizen in a different way, I think I would be the practicalist.
Yeah,
I think that would be me, with a mix of a couple of others, but mostly the practicalist, because I am like a magpie. I get obsessed with something for like a week or 2, and then I see something else that's shiny, and I go, I'm bored of that, and oh. Let's do that again, because I got so excited I smashed my microphone. I get bored of that and I move on to the next thing, so I think the practicalist would probably be me.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. Originally we were only going to own 1 ship and earn everything in game, but that went out the window fairly quickly, and that's a hard one to get back from.
Yeah. I wish I was the Joe, but I'm not. Yeah. And the funny thing is, you started with just an Aurora. Yes, I did, and I was like, that'll do. And then I saw the freelancer, and I was like, oh, but look at that. And the next thing you know, yeah. Although I think we have been good because, I've only got 3 ships that I've bought, and one of those was gifted to me, and I turned it into something else. Thank you, by the way, to whoever that was. So I won't say no names because they don't want you thinking your money bags. But it's I don't have many ships. How many ships have you got now?
I think I've got like 4. Yeah, I think I've got 4. But one of them is the PICO, which is so cheap in game, or it will be when you can buy it in game. I don't know if you can buy that in game at the moment. Actually, I don't think you can. But I'm sure the price is going to be so low that it's just not worth the price that I paid in real money for it. So that'll probably end up getting upgraded to something else.
Yeah, I think 4 is a good number because you've covered, you will have if we could have covered most of the bases. Kind of starter ships. You got a few that can fight. You've got maybe 1 or 2 that can do running and that sort of stuff. Yeah. When you get to that kind of crazy I can't remember what he called it on here. I think it was the professional, oh no, I can't remember now, the Pokemon Master, I think it was, or something like that, where you basically you have to have every ship, and I know there are people out there. In fact, if you're one of those people, jump in the comments and let us know if you're one of those people that has like 1 of every ship, because I would love to talk to you, get you onto our Discord, maybe even do a video on you. I'd love to talk to you and find out why. No offense, and I'm not trying to besmirch your good name. I just love to know your thinking when you see a new ship. Is it just I want it, or do you have some sort of plan? It fascinates me.
I do like the top comment on this post as well, the PICO. It's the kind of person that wears a PICO hat and has got 4 PICOs dotted around his bedroom.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I hate the PICO, by the way, just putting that out there. But yeah, that's there's definitely at least, I'd say, 1 in every 50 players that looks like that, which is scary. And you know that if there was a CitizenCon this year, there'd be at least 3 people dressed as PICO.
Oh, PICO cosplay would be hot right now.
Oh my goodness, you know that would instantly win you that silly competition they do.
Oh,
so yeah, definitely. But that very neatly brings us on to our last post, which is from Hyperion Grass. Is that grass?
Grass.
Or grass?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, one of the downsides of being like 15 feet away from your monitor. Hyperion Grass. And it says, I demand ransom. Now, there's a picture here which is brilliant. It says, give Mercury Star Runner before next Friday, midnight. PST or PICO will die. And there's a picture of PICO with a little hood on. That's so brilliant. I love it when people come up with shit like this.
Yeah. It's a lot more imaginative than just saying, give Mercury Star Runner.
Yeah.
But I mean, this brings up the question of, when is that Star Runner going to drop?
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're patiently, I don't think that's even a word we know, but we're waiting for it.
We're waiting. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is, it should be here. It isn't. That is normal, I guess.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they said it was going to come out in a 3.11x patch.
Yeah.
You know, whatever that X is going to be. By this point, I think we've had like 3 smaller patches come out, but progress on the Star Runner seems to have just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
And we got the anniversary event, the expo coming up in a couple of weeks. So I'm starting to think that they're going to drop it for that.
Yeah.
I'm sure some people will be really happy with that, and it's fine. Other people might be a little pissed off with that. Kind of again holding something back for the big event rather than just dropping it when it's ready. But yeah, we'll see when this comes out. At this point, it might even get delayed again until 3.12. Who knows? And I mean, patience is a virtue, and it is a virtue that we all need masses and masses of. It is a bit of a dick move that a bunch of people have paid for a ship expecting it to come out on a certain date or a certain patch, and then if that's what they've done and held it back for an event just to kind of boost the event, it is a bit of a dick move. But it just is what it is. I think people are so used to now CIG's way of working that we kind of go, we all walk around Picard palming, just yep.
That's basically it. And in fact, speaking of Picard palms, there is a comment here. This is good stuff, way better than the normal forum bitch fest, which is true. Anyone that thumbs downs or Picard palms this is a soulless monster, and there are 6 soulless monsters. And I think that's and so I'm calling you out: Shadow 2546, Ryu Soma, Jern Devow, Shadow Walker 79, Hans, and Tari Shoot. You are all soulless monsters. I love that you get to see who actually responded with these things. It's great. But yeah, you soulless monsters. Funny stuff. Okay, so there you have it, folks. That is all the posts for this week. We hope you liked them. We hope you found them informative or amusing. And if you did like them, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more Star Citizen content. And don't forget to jump into that comment section and let us know what you thought of these posts. And we always like to hear your opinions. It's always useful. And again, don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe. Go on. You know you wanna.
Do it.
Do it.
Get no ice cream until you subscribe.
Exactly. And who could live without ice cream? So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell and all that good stuff, and we will really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, come over to our Discord and say hello. We always love to talk to you guys. And we have quite an active Discord, so it's good fun. And that is pretty much it. So thanks everyone very, very much for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.